Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. MHA Readathon. Man, I'm tired. I drained myself on this one. Like, this one I've drained myself. I'm gonna probably, after I film this video, I'm gonna go do the first chapter tag again and read 5 or 6 different first chapters and try and find a book, because I'm in this mood where I just want to keep reading, but I didn't expect this readathon to drain me. Did not at all. I mean, I knew I was going to be tired, but I didn't know that I was going to I didn't know that it was going to just go so intense for me. So this week's been nuts in terms of my reading because I've been reading such heavy stuff. Yeah, I don't think anything I read this week was very light. So let's jump right into my wrap up, and let's start with challenge number 1, to read a green book, or read a book with green on the cover. I read High Rise first, and this has a forest green, some lime green. This is a dystopian novel about basically it is a apartment building where the lower class people live on the bottom, and all the way to like the richest of the rich live on the top. Everything that they could need in the world is in that building, and things start to go awry, and it really stands to what will you do when your dignity is compromised. And let's just say people do some stuff that they should not do when their dignity is compromised and their rights are challenged, and it gets really nasty really fast. And it was a really interesting depiction of what society is capable of. And I think the irony about dystopian fiction is, yes, it's dystopian, so it's far off and it's not real, but I want to know how far off you think it is, honestly, because I don't think it's that far. The next one was to read a fictional story with a character that suffered from mental illness. I read Dead Bunnies Make Us All, 8 of Us Cry by Annalise Collins. This was sent to me for review by Annalise herself. I really enjoyed this book. I did. I'm going to reread it for her a second time to really give some notes and go over it. It does talk about a girl with dissociative identity disorder. I've already spoken to her about the fact that she had the character on meds, and meds is not something we can actually usually take. Antipsychotics would actually really mess with our mind. I thought it was an interesting depiction. There were some parts of it that I found dramatized, but not too far from the truth, and I really enjoyed it. I will be doing a full in-depth review of this once I've reread it, so it might take a while, but I will reread this and do a more in-depth review talking about how accurate it is for all of those who have been looking for the fiction on dissociation and mental illness and things of that nature. Next was a book written by an author who suffers from a mental illness, and that would be Jenny Lawson's Let's Pretend This Never Happened, a mostly true memoir. Okay, this was actually the lightest thing I've read. Oh, thank you, Jenny Lawson, for saving me from myself. Because, I mean, as you guys can see, I'm like picking up books in weird ways, and like I'm all over the place. Like I'm messed up right now. But this saved me. I really read this slowly, very slowly, so that I would have chunks to read at a time. Because I needed it. I needed this break. Especially after the next book I'm going to talk about. So this was much needed. Mary Hornbacher, Wasted. I almost DNF'd this. Not because it's bad. Like, quite the contrary. It was written amazing. Sorry. Okay. this hit way closer to home than I thought it was going to. There was a lot of crying with this book. There was a lot of tough days. This book will never probably leave my shelf because this hit me. It hit me hard, and it... yeah. I don't even know how to explain this in words because it took every bit of energy in my body to finish this. And it took days of energy to finish this. Days. And lots of breaks. So, and it's only like 300 pages, and I can usually do that in like 2 days, but no, this needed focus and energy and time, and it helped me a lot with working with the part that suffers from an eating disorder, but it shook me a lot too. I'm going to be doing a full in-depth review, or no, I'm going to be doing a full video on my relationship with food. That was requested by a subscriber, and this book kind of helped me get my thoughts together on that. So that's going to come, but it's going to be an emotional video. I'm going to warn you of that right now. And then the last one was simply to read a nonfiction book about mental health or mental illness, and I picked Gracefully Insane. This is by Alex Beam. This is the life and death inside the American Premier Mental Hospital. This is about McLean Hospital in Massachusetts and the history of it and why it's so important. This talks a lot about what a breakthrough McLean has been and how it changes the game so frequently, and it's a really important hospital in the industry, and it needs to continue to be, because I think there's a lot of funding that's been taken away from the mental health community that really should never have been taken. It doesn't go chronologically, but it does discuss from the beginning of 1817 when they first opened as a primary facility for patients to be treated with kindness versus as animals, and how that shifted the entire industry. So beautiful, wonderful, good book. I didn't like the writing style. That was my only issue. I felt it was a little dry, but I'm so interested in the information that it wasn't an issue for me. I just enjoyed reading it because it's something I feel passionate about, so I wasn't bothered. But if you're going into this as like a gripping read, it's not going to be that as much as you want it to be. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's definitely, it's a good book though. It's if you really want to know history, this is a good one to go with. I'm going to be doing a full video eventually where, or I'm going to be doing a series eventually where I'm going to kind of address the different stages and history of the mental health facilities and what they would do to people in the facilities. So that's a lot of research and a lot of time that's going to go into it. Please bear with me. That will be happening eventually, but it's work. I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be in like a minute. I'm gonna make a few videos right now, but this has been a rough one. So I will talk to you guys soon with some cheerful, good book information, and I'll see you on the other side.